Breaking news tonight, the potential mass shooting averted. A man arrested with an assault-style rifle at Atlanta's airport. Police saying he intended to harm as many people as he could. The surveillance footage of him prowling the airport, an AR-15 in his truck. The moment police take him down, the man so big, police needed 2 sets of handcuffs. How his family's urgent warning may have saved lives. Also tonight, the major global outage paralyzing parts of the internet. Banks, airlines, even government sites all impacted. What caused the massive outage? Manhunt in Paris. Thieves raiding the Louvre, smashing display cases, stealing necklaces, tiaras, and jewels. The new timeline tonight showing the criminals inside for only 4 minutes. The deadly plane crash, a cargo flight skidding off the runway, killing 2. Plus, this plane's emergency landing after a lithium battery burst into flames on board. Anger at the courthouse, protest at the murder trial of the former deputy accused of fatally shooting Sonya Massey in her home after she called police for help. Plus, 2 Texas parents arrested after allegedly leaving their 6-month-old baby alone at the beach for nearly an hour. Online dangers, why Florida's Attorney General is calling Roblox, the popular kids gaming platform, a breeding ground for predators. One father's warning tonight.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Yamas.
And good evening. Authorities say a convicted felon with what police are calling mental challenges arrived at the world's busiest airport today with a semi-automatic weapon. They say he intended to inflict harm to as many people as he could. 49-year-old Billy Cagle, you see him here, was arrested, accused of threatening to open fire at the airport. His family calling police, alerting them that the suspect was streaming his threats on social media. And you see this video here. You can see him inside the airport near the busy TSA area. That's where police caught up with him, ultimately taking him down and needing 2 sets of handcuffs because of his size. Outside in his truck, they reported finding an AR-15 assault rifle and 27 rounds of ammunition. The suspect is facing charges including making terroristic threats and possession of a firearm by a felon. Police say that call from his family likely prevented a tragedy. Aaron Gilchrist is at the airport tonight. He starts us off.
How are you?
This body cam video shows the moment police say a potential tragedy was averted.
Put your hands behind your back.
Atlanta police officers detaining 49-year-old Billy Joe Cagle, who officials say threatened to shoot up the busiest airport in the world.
This individual did have a semi-automatic weapon, and this individual was mentally challenged. And when you have those combinations together, it can turn out to be deadly.
Surveillance video shows Cagle parking his pickup truck right outside Hartsfield-Jackson Airport's South Terminal shortly before 9:30 this morning. Once inside, he's seen walking right up to a TSA checkpoint.
He seemed to be very interested in the TSA check-in area, which you can see was heavily crowded with travelers.
Authorities say they were tipped off about what Cagle was up to from his own family members.
Cartersville Police Department was alerted by the family of Mr. Cagle that he was streaming on social media, that he was headed to the airport, in their words, to shoot it up.
After receiving that call from Cagle's family, officers in Atlanta canvassed the area. Less than 15 minutes later, police had the 6'3", 320-pound suspect in custody. Authorities believe Cagle was headed back to his truck to get an assault rifle, which had 27 rounds of ammunition. He was unarmed when he was taken into custody. Tonight, authorities grateful to the officers who spotted Cagle and those who said something.
27 or more lives could have been lost today.
Aaron joins us now live from the airport. And Aaron, the suspect's family saved a lot of lives. Do we know who exactly they called and how quickly that information was relayed?
Well, investigators, Tom, say that Cagle's family reached out to Cartersville police about 50 miles away from here where Cagle lives. They relayed the information from the family along with a photo to Atlanta police within minutes of getting that call, as we understand it. Right now, Cagle is facing several charges, including terroristic threats and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Tom?
Great police work there. All right, Aaron, we thank you for that. To the other big story tonight, that massive global outage that paralyzed millions, unable to use popular apps and websites. It hit everything from airlines to banks to some businesses. They had to resort to pen and paper. Here's Brian Chung.
From United Airlines to Apple to Slack, a long list of companies all going dark for periods of time today amid a massive worldwide outage.
Canva is down. Adobe Express is also experiencing some problems.
A global debacle traced back to one company, Amazon. Not the company's e-commerce business, but its cloud services, responsible for hosting the data of some of the largest companies in the world. From Snapchat,
guys, what is going on with Snapchat?
To Venmo.
Money is in there, but Venmo is down.
Students left in the dark as classroom software went down. Small businesses like the True Grit Cafe in Colorado having to take it back to pen and paper to take orders.
We're taking handwritten credit card information down and hope that we don't transpose the numbers that way.
Worry that this is going to impact at least your bottom line for sales today?
Absolutely.
It even impacted Amazon's own e-commerce site.
When we put all of our eggs in a few very large baskets, we have the potential for something like today's outage to happen.
The trouble began overnight, with Amazon acknowledging increased error rates. By early morning, the company claimed that the issue had been fully mitigated. But by midday, Amazon said that customers still continue to experience increased error rates. Experts say it doesn't look like a hack.
When the source is quickly and easily discovered, it usually points to an accident or a misconfiguration rather than some type of attack.
Brian joins us now live in studio. Brian, when people think Amazon, they think shopping. They know it's massive, but AWS is also huge.
Yeah, and by the way, Amazon does say that they expect to have this issue with a full recovery this evening. Down Detector is a site that actually tracks how many issues there might be on a given website, and they say that there were 11 million plus reports, in addition to over 2,500 companies that were impacted. So the question of scale, it shows that combined with that Microsoft CrowdStrike issue you remember last year, it just shows how fragile this global IT system is.
All right, Brian Chung on this tonight. Brian, we thank you for that. Now to the urgent investigation after a suspicious hunting stand was found in view of the tarmac where President Trump's plane lands in South Florida. Gabe Gutierrez joins us now, and Gabe, the FBI says they're working quickly to find out more information.
Yes, Tom, the deputy FBI director said today the Secret Service was very concerned about the discovery, which happened during a perimeter advance search last Friday. He says the elevated hunting stand in this tree is now being examined at the Bureau's lab. It was found near Palm Beach International Airport and had a direct sight line to where President Trump exits Air Force One. A federal official says it could be an old hunting stand, a perch used by a photographer, or a possible threat after 2 assassination attempts on President Trump last year. Tom?
Yeah, they're taking no chances. All right, Gabe, we thank you for that. Now to the all-out manhunt after that daring heist in France. Thieves breaking into the world-famous Louvre and getting away with priceless jewels. We have new details tonight on just how they did it. Molly Hunter's in Paris.
A shocking daytime heist that stunned the world. And tonight, the urgent manhunt now underway for the thieves still on the run. Sunday morning, minutes after the Louvre Museum opened to the public, authorities say a truck mounted with an extendable ladder drove up to the south side of the museum.
The car drove right up here to the side of the Apollo Gallery. That ladder went straight up to the balcony. You can see it right there. The window is boarded up. They used grinders to break that window. The alarms were sounding, and they headed for the Apollo Gallery.
At 9:34 a.m., 2 thieves entered the Apollo Gallery, inside for just 4 minutes, according to the prosecutor's office. In this video, widely published in French media, you can see one of them wearing a high-vis vest. They snatched 9 priceless items in all, dropping a diamond-encrusted crown on the way out.
The thieves came down the same ladder. There were motorbikes waiting, and they made their getaway through Paris traffic.
2 members of the team waiting on motorbikes, and by 9:38 a.m., they were gone. Experts say it's now a race against the clock before the gemstones are removed or cut up and sold. Outside the most visited museum in the world today, disappointment.
To our disappointment, it was closed because of a break-in. This is like a movie scene.
Honestly, I'm obsessed with this heist.
French media report a leaked audit of security found that the Louvre has routinely tightened the security budget. And tonight, French authorities are beefing up security at cultural sites across the country.
Across France tonight, this is seen as a massive security failure. And one of the things investigators are looking at is whether the alarm system worked correctly. Meanwhile, no word yet on when the museum will reopen. Tom?
Molly Hunter from Paris tonight. Now to the investigation into a plane skidding off a runway and into a vehicle, killing 2 people. It's the latest in a string of aviation incidents. Here's Tom Costello.
From an onboard fire to a plane crash and shattered cockpit windscreen, a busy Monday for aviation investigators in Hong Kong An Emirates Air 747 cargo plane arriving from Dubai lost control after landing, crashing through a fence and striking a security vehicle before sliding into the sea. All 4 aircrew members rescued, but 2 people in the car were killed. Meanwhile, over China, fire and smoke poured from an overhead bin after Air China says a lithium-ion battery spontaneously ignited during a flight to Seoul. Flight attendants and passengers smothered the fire as the pilots made an emergency landing in Shanghai. No injuries, but underscoring the global risk posed by lithium-ion batteries and power banks overheating and catching fire. In the U.S., the FAA reports 62 incidents this year through September.
People just need to understand the risk associated with those, and in particular, power banks.
Investigators also looking into the shattered windshield at 36,000 feet on a United flight diverting to Salt Lake. Analysts say possibly due to a heating element in the glass. The pilot's arm cut and bloody. Also tonight, we're watching airport delays nationwide. Since the government shutdown, the FAA has reported an increase in controllers calling out sick as they work without pay. Tom?
All right, Tom, we thank you. Now to the protest over the high-profile trial of a former deputy accused of killing Sonya Massey. Massey was shot and killed in her own home last year, sparking protests then. Maggie Vespa has the latest and a warning. Some of the video you're about to see is disturbing.
On day 1 of jury selection in former Deputy Sean Grayson's first-degree murder trial, no justice! Anger outside this Illinois courthouse.
I watched the video and I feel like, like the rest of the world feel like it was unjustified.
Oh, it hurt you. You called us.
Last summer, 36-year-old Sonya Massey called 911 about a possible prowler, according to the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office. Body cameras captured Deputy Sean Grayson responding to her home. The mother of 2, whose family said she struggled with mental health issues, then picked up a pot of boiling water.
You better I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! Drop the pot!
Grayson was fired and pleaded not guilty, saying in court documents he feared for his life. Personnel records later showed he had a history of disciplinary issues at previous police jobs. Grayson faces the possibility of life in prison, his attorney declining to comment to NBC News. The case garnering national attention. The judge moving proceedings to another county. Both sides today grilling potential jurors about their opinions on this video and law enforcement. Legal experts say self-defense may be a tough sell.
When it comes to law enforcement, they are trained in how to react in certain circumstances. They're taught de-escalation measures and that deadly force is the last course of action to take.
Jury selection concluding late today with 10 women and 5 men seated, including alternates. Opening statements now set for Wednesday. Tom.
Okay, Maggie, thank you. If you have kids or grandkids, you probably have heard of Roblox. It's a popular gaming app among children, and it's increasingly coming under fire, accused of not safeguarding kids from online predators. Tonight, Stephanie Gosk reports Florida's Attorney General is taking serious action against it.
Tonight, the children's gaming app Roblox put on notice by Florida's Attorney General.
Companies like Roblox have become breeding grounds for predators to get to and have access to our kids.
The AG announcing it will issue subpoenas to the company as part of a criminal investigation.
We've arrested over 1,000 child predators just this year, and many of these investigations lead right back to Roblox.
Among them, 17-year-old Christian Scriven, who pleaded not guilty to adult charges for allegedly convincing children as young as 8 years old to share sexually explicit images. On Roblox, users can chat with each other while they create and play games. According to the Florida's AG, predators often pose as children, sometimes luring victims by paying them with the in-game currency called Robux. The company says it is cooperating with the Florida investigation, adding that it prohibits the sharing of images and video, and it has advanced safety systems to help protect users and remove bad actors.
You sent a message and said, well, if I send you like $5 in the digital currency Robux, can you send me like just a selfie of yourself?
Steve, who asked that we not use his last name, says his 13-year-old son was targeted by a predator on Roblox.
And it got progressively worse and worse and worse from there. Before long, it was, well, I know where you live at because he found out our home address.
Steve is one of dozens of people around the country who have filed lawsuits against Roblox, accusing the company of not doing enough to protect children. Roblox wouldn't comment specifically on Steve's lawsuit, but said their policies are purposely stricter than many other platforms and said they limit chat for younger users.
It is on these apps. They found like a haven for this kind of thing to happen because anyone can be anyone they want to be.
And kids can be easily fooled.
Yes, absolutely.
Stephanie joins us live. Stephanie, let's go back to Florida. So what happens to Roblox users in that state?
All right, so this is a significant step because it means that Florida is pursuing a criminal investigation, Tom. But tonight, to be clear, there are no charges against Roblox. It is not accused of a crime.
Okay, Stephanie Goss, good to see you. We're back in just a moment with the outrage tonight after a healthcare executive and her husband allegedly left their 6-month-old baby alone, asleep on the beach for an hour. The charges they now face. Now to those arrests of 2 parents on vacation in Florida, charged with leaving their 6-month-old baby alone on the beach for nearly an hour. Here's Priscilla Thompson.
This is a 6-month-old baby girl, just after she was discovered on a Florida beach by a Good Samaritan. The sheriff's department says they discovered the baby had been left alone by her parents for nearly an hour.
Would you leave your 6-month-old in a car for an hour? No. Would you leave your 6-month-old at the house for an hour while you went to the store? No, you shouldn't.
Tonight, parents Brian and Sarah Wilkes have been arrested and charged with felony child neglect. Investigators say they went for a walk with their older children Friday, leaving their 6-month-old baby napping under a tent alone.
In the worst case that we could have had here was a kidnapping, and nobody would have known what had happened for that.
Beachgoers told hotel staff, who called police. The sheriff's department says the parents told them,
"Oh, it was baby's nap time. We didn't want to disturb baby. We kind of lost track of time."
What do you make of that response?
Losing track of time doesn't negate the fact that you as a parent have the responsibility to take care of and to care for your child.
Sarah Wilkes, a healthcare executive, and her husband Brian have been released on bond. They did not respond to our request for comment. Priscilla Thompson, NBC News.
All right, we are back in a moment with the dramatic construction project underway at the White House. Look at this. And remember this dramatic video of rescue boats racing to save a father and daughter who went overboard on a Disney cruise? Why her mother almost faced charges for it. That's next. We are back now with new developments in the disappearance of a Philadelphia woman. Today, police confirming that human remains found at an abandoned school this weekend belonged to Kata Scott. Scott disappeared 2 weeks ago after borrowing her mother's car to go to work an overnight shift. New charges will be filed against the suspect, Keon King, who was already charged with Scott's kidnapping, according to the Philadelphia Assistant District Attorney. He has not yet entered a plea. And you may remember this video, a father jumping in to save his 5-year-old daughter after she fell from a Disney cruise. Well, now new court documents reveal the girl fell after her mother encouraged her to sit on the porthole railing for a photo. Authorities deciding not to charge the mother, ruling that fall was an accident. And take a look at this heavy construction at the White House today. Part of the East Wing being torn down in order to build a new ballroom there. President Trump said the project will cost around $250 million from private donors. The president previously said the project wouldn't interfere with the existing structure. That's Nightly News for this Monday. I'm Tom Llamas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.